welcome to our next art lesson. This is a Raggedy Ann and Andy drawing lesson. These are the materials you're going to need. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser, your black Sharpie. Then you're going to need your drawing aids that were handed out in your packet of art materials. Here's Raggedy Ann, here's Raggedy Andy, and here is the how-to to draw a Raggedy Ann or Andy. You need your warm-up paper, so that's 3 papers. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to need your piece of white construction paper. Okay, and the white construction paper is the smaller size for this month. Okay, it wasn't a large size, it was a smaller size. So go grab those materials, press pause, go grab those materials, and come on back and join Zach and myself, and we are going to start. I have my lovely assistant, Zachary, here. How are you, Zach?
Hi.
All right, so Zach's, he is ready with his workstation, and he's going to read and remind us what we want to keep in mind to have a positive experience. All right, Zach, go for it.
Number 1, always try your best. Number 2, if you get frustrated, take a deep breath, count to 10, take a deep breath, and try again. Number 3, everyone's art will turn out differently. Your artwork is uniquely yours. Number 4, art is not perfect.
Awesome. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we are going to start by looking at our Raggedy Ann and Andy drawing images. We're going to start with our warm-up paper, the smaller of the 2 pieces of paper. So get out your warm-up paper, and I'm going to show you, I might have some other images. Let me check real quick. Maybe these are just the 2 that I have. Yeah. Okay, so these are the 2 images I have. So we have...
Remember when Joe was in this? And you've told me you couldn't find a babysitter for me, so I had to do it with Joe.
Yeah, you and Sarah, when Joey was in 1st grade.
But I actually can't really remember that.
You can't remember? Well, Joey was in 1st grade, Sammy was in TK, and I had you and Sarah. And normally I would try to find somebody to watch you guys when I would go in to teach the art lessons for Joey when he was in 1st grade, but I couldn't find anybody, so I took you and Sarah with me, and you and Sarah helped teach the art lesson, and you did it as well. So this is your 2nd time doing this. But you don't remember, right?
I don't even remember my thing.
Yeah, Sarah, you did it too.
Thing, but how did I do it?
You did really well.
Was I mistaken on a little bit?
You just did your best. You tried your best, and it turned out beautifully. I remember. I just don't know where I've placed it right now to show you, but I'll find it and dig it out. Okay, are you ready to get started, Zach?
Yep.
Okay, so Raggedy Ann and Andy, they are characters from when I was a little girl, a long, long, long time ago. And I think they were around even before I was a little girl. So they're pretty famous. They're classic characters. There are stories written about them. There are dolls made. I actually have some dolls, but they are in Maestra Ruiz's classroom right now. I think, I have to check with her, but I think they are in her classroom right now from last year when she used them for this lesson with her 1st graders last year. I'm pretty sure I lent her the dolls. So I don't have them here to show you, but I do have images. So this is Raggedy Andy right here. He's a boy, and this is Raggedy Ann, and she's a girl. So these are the classic pictures of what Raggedy Ann and Andy look like. I also have some plates and bowls from when I was a little girl that have Raggedy Ann and Andy on them, and I think those are also in Maestra Ruiz's classroom. So I am going to show you some examples right now from Sarah, Sam, and Joe. This one was Sarah's. She decided to do a solo drawing of Raggedy Ann, and that's her backdrop. Okay. Then I have a solo of Raggedy Andy. Joey decided to do just Raggedy Andy right there, and then he has his background. And Sammy, he decided, and do you see, wait, before I move on, do you see how they're all in portrait position? Joe's and Sarah's are in portrait position. Well, Sammy decided that he wanted to draw Raggedy Ann and Andy together. So he did it in landscape position, going that way, and so that they could both fit. And he did Raggedy Ann over here and Raggedy Andy over here with a backdrop behind them. So all three of Zach's siblings have decided to do something different, and their backgrounds are all different. So you are going to decide after we do our warm-up whether you're going to draw a picture of Raggedy Ann solo by herself, Raggedy Ann solo by himself, or Raggedy Ann and Andy together. So you'll have some time to think about that. So I want you to have these drawing aids to the side, and especially this how-to drawing. We are going to use this to do our warm-up, and this is Raggedy Andy right here, and then we're going to do a warm-up of Raggedy Ann as well. Okay? Sound good, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think I might have some other samples. So here's a sample right there of Raggedy Andy, and here is a sample right here of Raggedy Ann. Those were my warm-ups. Okay?
Wait.
So a lot of samples
Who
for you to
did
look.
that?
I did this. I did this for a warm-up.
How did you do it so beautiful?
I tried my best, and I did a Raggedy Annie and a Raggedy Ann and a Raggedy Andy. Okay? So when we are drawing, okay, and we're drawing an object that we're looking at, we need to look for simple recognizable shapes, like circles and triangles and ovals and squares and rectangles. We're going to look for those shapes when we're drawing, and we're going to look at our objects very carefully as we draw so that we can draw them as best as we can, to our best of our ability. And we're going to try our personal best, okay? So as we're looking at our drawing aid, that's what I want you to do. I want you to look for shapes that you recognize. For instance, the dots for the eyes, triangles for the nose, what kind of lines you might see also, like curved or straight. So we're going to be using our drawing skills, focusing on shapes and lines in order to draw Raggedy Ann and Andy. So go ahead and get your warm-up paper. That's your smaller piece of paper. You can grab your pencil. We're just going to do our warm-up with our pencil. Go ahead and grab your pencil.
Oh, Sharpie, are you going to do that on Sharpie?
No,
so they could see it?
I'm going to go ahead and do with pencil. They can see my pencil. And then when we do our actual...
You're going Sharpie. Wait, hold on. Is the third lesson going to be Sharpie?
Well, we're going to see how it goes today and see how far we get. We might do this in one video, maybe two. Okay? All right, so let's start by looking at... So put this off to the side. We're going to do step one, and we're going to do the eyes. Okay? So go ahead and come a couple inches down from the top and do your circle eyes. Remember, we're looking for basic shapes and basic lines. So we're going to do our circle eyes for Raggedy Andy. And you can
fit the triangle in the middle.
You can do this right here too for inside the eyes, and you can go like this if you want, fill in that. Or you can just fill in the whole thing. You can do the whole thing like this. Like it would be like a black button. Or maybe on a doll. Okay, so there are our eyes for Raggedy Andy. And what shape do you notice for the nose, Zach?
Triangle.
Triangle. So we're going to do a triangle nose. And then we're going to add some eyelashes down here to the eyes. Those are just some lines coming out of the eyes. So we're looking at shapes and lines. Step number 3 is going to be his mouth. First, so I wish I had my dolls because I could show you the beautiful stitching, but when the dolls are made, there's a stitch going this way, and it's like a curved line, and then there's a little oval right here that's filled in. So go ahead and do the oval right under the triangle nose, and then the stitching continues up like this. And then you can give the little hatch marks right there to finish off the smile. And then you can add some eyebrows, just curved lines over the eyes. So far we've done circles and triangle and oval, some different lines to fill in to do the mouth and the eyebrows and the nose. Now we're going to start doing the hair. So if I look at Raggedy Andy's hair, you know what it reminds me of?
Noodles.
Noodles, yes. You know what else it reminds me of?
Spaghetti and mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Okay, maybe straight mac and cheese. What about French fries? Does that remind you of French fries?
Yes.
So what we can do is we're gonna go ahead and finish off the face like this. Go ahead and go around like this, like a U around the face. Make a U around his face. And then you can just start making French fries or noodles, like Zach was saying. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go all the way around my Raggedy Andy's hairline like this on this side. And then I'm gonna do it on this side. And if you notice this artist right here, they did a bunch of little, more like little ovals. Okay, if you want to follow that and do little ovals instead, you can do that. Or if you'd like to follow this one and do the little line, the little French fries, you can do the French fries or the noodles. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of give my Raggedy Andy some hair coming down like this. And then I can give him his bangs coming down. If I want, why don't we actually do the hat? Do you want to do the hat on the center of the head or off to the side like this? We have two different versions, Zach. What do you think? In the center or off to the side?
I don't really know.
You want me to choose?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll do my hat a little off to the side.
Okay. Yeah,
so I'm going to go like this. And this is going to be where Andy's name would be. So we could write just Andy. A, capital A, lowercase n, lowercase d, lowercase y. We could do his hat like this. And then we could do the top of his hat that comes up like this.
How do you spell Andy?
Capital A,
okay,
lowercase n, d, y. Or if you want, you can write the whole word, the whole name, Raggedy Andy. It depends on how much space you have. Let me see what, like Joey did on his, he wrote Raggedy Andy on his. So it depends on how much space you have. So it's either Andy or Raggedy Andy. And then go ahead and just keep filling in the hair, going up until you reach the hat. You can give Raggedy Andy maybe some bangs coming down of those little noodles or those French fries. Beautiful, Zach. That's gorgeous. And if you want to do more layers like this, Zach, you can go like this and do layers behind like this and give them even more wild hair. It depends on what you're in the mood for. Like, how much hair does your Raggedy Andy have? Okay, I gave him a couple layers, similar to this illustrator, what this illustrator did. A couple layers. So you decide. We're just doing a rough sketch right now. Okay, so
mine kind of looks like a girl right now, but it might change.
Okay, all right. So do we have enough room to keep building down Raggedy Andy? We're going to keep going down. We have his face and his hair and his hat. Well, you know what? This is a lesson to be learned here. When we're on our main page, our regular page, we might want to do our head a little bit smaller so that our body fits. Okay, keep that in mind, okay? All right, let's keep going. We're going to do the next part, which is the collar and the bow. So I can follow and look at these lines coming down. They look like two rectangles. So like a rectangle coming this way, and then another rectangle coming on this side. And then the bow coming this way. And I can do a circle for the inside of the bow, and I could do some ovals, stretched out ovals coming out. And then I can even do the details of the collar right here like they did. I can do the details like that, which look like rectangles right there. And this they colored in here, dark here. And that's just some lining on the collar. Okay, so I did the collar and the bow. Beautiful, Zach. Now I'm gonna come down to the shirt. And I see some basic shapes again. I see a rectangle for the arms, and I see a little bit of a square for the shirt. So I'm gonna come down here and do a rectangle for the arm, and another rectangle from the arm, and then a square for the shirt. And then I'm on to the hands. I'm gonna give the mitten hands, just like that. And then the pants, it looks like two rectangles right next to each other. So here we go, 1, 2, and then they kind of meet in the middle. Beautiful, Zach. Now you're onto the gloves. All right, if you are not with me, that's okay. You can pause the video and catch up and then come on back. All right, I see 2 circles for buttons on the pants. So I can do 2 buttons right here. See right here, this Raggedy Ann, the buttons right here. And you can do little holes for the stitching to hold the buttons in, like that. All right, now we're gonna get down to the very last part where we're gonna do the socks and the shoes. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy are famous for their patterns on their clothes. So they have stripes, a lot of stripes. So I'm gonna do some stripes here. I'm gonna come down here and do the socks. I'm gonna put some stripes on Raggedy Andy's socks. And then here are the shoes, and that's a simple oval looking shape for the shoes. And then I can just add more details. Raggedy Andy has checkers on his shirt, and the way you can do that is by making lines going down like this and then crossing them like this. And I could do it on the shirt over here, or the sleeve over here, making lines going down and then crossing them. And I can also do lines coming down his shirt. And these are vertical lines, and then I can cross them going horizontally. So I have my like checkers pattern. Okay, and if you see here, when Joey did his final piece, he even colored in his checkers, every other. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, and he did in every other pattern, okay, for his checkers. All right, so the last thing, we're not gonna do it in the warm-up, but when you're doing your actual image and that you choose, you're gonna add a very simple background to it. So if you see here, you have a street, a sidewalk, a tree, and a very simplistic house right there. All right, so we did our Raggedy Andy. Are you ready to do Raggedy Ann, Zach?
How many minutes has it been?
Oh, we're 18 minutes into the video. Ready to warm up with Raggedy Andy? Or Ann?
This is going to be like 25 to 30 or 35 minutes, right?
We'll see. I think we're gonna do 2 videos. We're gonna do the warm up today, and then we're gonna come back on another day and we'll do the actual lesson. Sound good?
But what about the Sharpie?
That'll be the next video.
Okay.
Okay, okay, flip it over. You had 2 sides. So here's your Raggedy Andy. Can I show them yours? And we're gonna show them how they're totally different, right? But they're both uniquely beautiful. All right,
They kind of look like girls, but they are boys, right?
Yep, this one is Raggedy Andy. This is the boy of the 2 characters.
But
And
Mom,
look,
why does it kind of look like it's a girl? And I forgot to put the stripes on the arms.
oh, here, go ahead and do that. Okay, so Zach and I tried our best, and they both turned out very differently, and yours is going to turn out differently than both of ours. So flip it over, and with your pencil, we're going to now do Raggedy Ann. You ready for that, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for Raggedy Ann, we're going to start again with the eyes. We're going to do 2.
Is there like a how to draw Raggedy Ann?
No, there was a how to draw Raggedy Andy. But here is Raggedy Ann, and I'm going to have you follow along with me. I'm going to put, this is my example from the last time I did this lesson. So I'm going to put it right here, Zach. so that you can see it also. Here's two different versions of it, okay? So you have your drawing aid right here. Here's Raggedy Ann. Put it right next to your paper. That will help you. And we're going to start with her eyes. What shape are her eyes?
Black.
That's the color. What shape are they?
Circle.
Circle. So we're going to start with a circle here. And Zach, this time I want you to try to do your face a little bit smaller so that your body still fits, okay? All right, and then you can give her some shade in her eyes right here. All right, now we're going to go for her nose. What shape is her nose? Zach.
What?
What shape is her nose?
Her nose is triangle.
A triangle. Okay, so let's give her nose. A triangle right between the two circles. And then we're going to do her lines. So her eyelashes come down like, oh, you know what?
It might not have.
I really like, I want to show you how we can do eyelashes different than the ones we did here. So here we did eyelashes that come down, straight lines down. I'm going to show you a different style, okay? So you can do a little U under both eyes.
I know, and then just lines.
And then add some triangles. Yes, Zach. I'm going to add some triangles. Okay, I was able to do 4 tiny triangles. They're not very big. These are just her tiny eyelashes. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then I can give her her eyebrows. And I'm going to give her her mouth. Now look at her mouth, how it's different than Raggedy Andy. So Raggedy Andy has the oval mouth. And Raggedy Ann has more.
I might not have space for.
Well, we're going to try our best. We're trying our best. Okay, now I'm going to give her like almost heart-shaped lips like this. It's like a stretched out heart. Okay? And then on each side of her lips, we're going to have her smile come up like that and come up like that. And there's Raggedy Ann's face. Now what we can do is we can come and give her her U-shaped face to pull it all in, to hold it all together. And then we can just start doing her hair. So look at here. See these little ovals? These are more oval-like, whereas Raggedy Andy's hair was a little bit long, thinner and longer strands. So we can just start going like this. Just going all the way around her face like this. I'm making them a little bit smaller, and I'm going to do some layers. I might do, maybe I'll do 3 layers. So here's my Raggedy Ann. And they're little tiny ovals going all the way around. But I'm going to go all the way around her whole head. She doesn't have a hat. So I might do some ovals coming down for her bangs like this. It's almost like U's connected together, or a bunch of W's connected together. And then I can keep coming up and do her hair, bunch of M's connected like this, Zach. I did a bunch of W's and now I'm doing a bunch of M's. And I'm going to do, like I said, I was going to do 3 layers. So 1, 2, and 3. Remember, if you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause. If you need to catch up to us, that's fine. And I'm just going to keep going all over her head with her hair. A bunch of different layers.
I think I'm done.
How about you do one more set of layers around? Yeah, while I'm still going. I think you can do another layer. There we go. And I did 3 layers of hair for her. I could even do like a little bit more coming up here if I want. I just did a 4th layer all the way on the top. Look how poofy her hair is. I'm kind of imitating this one right here. Super poofy. Okay, so the next thing that I noticed is her shirt. So I see her apron that goes over her shirt. So I'm going to start with her apron straps. And what shape does that look like to you, that strap?
A rectangle.
Yeah, so I'm gonna come down here and, oh, you know what? Let's give her, I'm sorry, I skipped a step. We have to do her collar, Zach. So this looks like, that's okay, I'm sorry. I went way too ahead of myself. You can either keep it the way it is or you can erase the top if you want. I'm gonna do a frilly collar like this. Here's the collar of her shirt. See that? Yeah. On mine right here, I made it even bigger. Now we're off to the apron straps. So here we go. We got a rectangle coming down here, a rectangle coming down here, and then what connects the two is another rectangle right here. There is the top of her apron. And you can give her little frills right here for the top of her apron. It has a little like frilly lace right here. And then I'm gonna come out and do her entire apron. So it's gonna be a line that kind of curves this way and a line that curves this way. And then some lines that go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, all the way across. And there we have her apron. And if you want, you can add the hearts to line it. Here's some hearts to line her really fun looking apron all the way around. There's a shape that we see. Okay, heart all the way around. And now I can do the rest of her shirt. So here, should we have her waving like this image or should we have her with her hands down, Zach? What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, what if we just do an arm that comes down like this so it looks like it's a kidney bean shape. Do you see that? So it goes out and in and out, out and in and out. Or you could just do a rectangle shape. Okay, so here, I'm gonna do this one a rectangle shape.
Okay, I totally messed up on this.
All right, I think what I'll do is, because that kind of looks a little on the funny side to me, to my eyes, I think I'm gonna do more of a rectangle shape for both of her arms. And I give her hand here, and then her hand here. She's about to give you a big hug. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add the rest of her dress underneath her apron. So it comes out down here like that. And then we're gonna give her the bottom part of her pants. It looks like she has some short pants on. So we can give her the bottom part of her pants that looks kind of like, a little bit like squares. And then you can do the frilly part again. And then you can give her striped socks. And that looks to me like a rectangle. And you can do the stripes going down her socks. And then you can give her shoes, like little ovals. Okay? And then you could just start adding in. Here it's more of a hatch. On this one right here, it's more of a hatch. So you go off to the side. You remember Raggedy Andy? We were going straight down. Here you can go off to the side like this. Sideways lines, like diagonal. In her dress, going that way. And then you cross it going this way. Diagonal the opposite way. Beautiful. And you could do the same thing with her arms. So you do sideways, diagonal lines going that way, down her arm. And then you can cross them going sideways. And I'll do it to this arm over here. Sideways, diagonal lines going this way. And then I'm going to cross them diagonally going the other way. Okay, and then I can do it in her front right here, or maybe I want to add a different design. Like here, I did flowers and hearts. Okay, so you decide. Maybe I'll just do 3 hearts in the middle. Maybe that's what I want to do. So here's my Raggedy Ann, and here's my Raggedy Andy. And
wait, I want to see Raggedy Ann.
Here's my Raggedy Ann.
I forgot to put the feet.
Oh yeah, give her some oval feet. And I think we're gonna finish here. This is a great warm up. And when we come back,
how many minutes?
30 minutes. When we come back, we're going to decide what we're gonna do.
Oh, look.
Let me show. Okay, so here is Zach's Raggedy Ann. Here's
not
mine.
the same as Mom's.
Nope, they're different. And then here are our Raggedy Andys. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to clean up. So we're gonna take our drawing aids, both of them.
But you know, mine will just like paper clip it with yours if we need to paper clip it or whatever.
Yeah, we are gonna paper clip it. So you'll stack it on mine because we're working together. So you have this drawing aid, you have your how-to drawing aid, you have your warm-up that you did, and Zach just gave me all of his. And then you have, wait a second. Then you have your,
can I go now, Mom?
hang on. Then you have your white construction paper that we have not used yet. So take that and you're going to paper clip it back. You had a paper clip to begin with. You're going to paper clip it back all together. Where did my, there it is. You're gonna paper clip it back together and you're gonna have it ready for when we start the next video where we actually do our Sharpie, and we're not gonna use, we are not going to be using pencil next time, only Sharpie. So I'm gonna show you.
Why would you only use Sharpie? What if you don't like what you just did?
Well, we are going to be okay if we make mistakes. So I'm gonna show you one more time. Here is a version of Raggedy Ann solo. Here is an example of Raggedy Andy solo. And here is a picture of Raggedy Ann and Andy together. So between now and the next video, I want you to think, what am I gonna do? Raggedy Ann by herself, Raggedy Andy by himself, both of them together. And then I want you to think of a background that you're gonna give behind them. Then when we come back, we will do our final composition of our Raggedy Ann and Andy drawing lesson. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you for our next video.